So one day I had a thought that there is one opening which literally every single chess player start their career with when they were, let's say, 800 rated player. But no one, let's say 99% of the people have not prepared against that opening. And what if I prepare that opening and surprise my opponent from the opening itself? I know that we are talking about the Swallow's mate and we bring out the queen too early, and you'll think that it is a very dubious move because your queen gets attacked, you do not have much time for development. But I thought to give it a try, and here's what I found. So here we have the chessboard, and after e4 e5, which most of the players play, queen comes here, and we know, of course, the this is losing because the rook is gone. And the other moves, that is knight c6, bishop c4, and if knight f6 is played, this is losing, correct? But what if black plays well here and just plays g6, and you'll say, okay, our queen is out, you have to run behind, and black gets the development and lead in time. But if you see the engine, it is just minus 0.3, and at, let's say, till the highest level before that, this is nothing. Minus 0.3 is nothing, so you just come behind. And from here, I've prepared something which I'm going to show you throughout this video. So here the most often move played by the opponents is knight f6, blocking the mate here and also developing the knight. And now the crucial move here to play is knight e2. The point of knight e2 is to not allow knight d4, because what knight d4 does is it attacks the queen as well as attacks the c2 pawn, which is obviously a fork, and then you'll have to keep moving your queen around. So knight e2 protects knight e4, and here the obvious looking move that black could play and mostly people play, that is that is bishop to g7. The point being, you have already played g6, why will you take out your bishop from this side? So you fianchet to it on g7, and here I suggest to go knight b3, knight bc3. The plan is, of course, to take the d5 square, and also we are just protecting this and going with our development. Here there are two moves that black plays, that is, one is castle and one is d6. I like to show d6 first because the obvious point of d6 is to bring out your bishop from g4, and here we play the move d3, provoking black to play bishop g4. So here most of the players, I'll say every single game I've tried at G2100 rating level, most of the players go bishop g4, because obviously it's a tempo, you're attacking the queen, you're developing your bishop with that itself. So yeah, bishop g4, you go queen g3. And now, another obvious move that black might play is queen d7. But other moves also I'll be covering in this video are castles, knight a5, and knight to b4. Because one day I went and played a game with just the knowledge of queen d7, and then knight a5 struck and I was clueless what to do. So let's see first what happens with queen d7, which is one of the obvious looking moves because you're defending this bishop and your idea is to play knight h5, and this queen is kind of trapped and only square are h4 and e3. So here we play the move f3. Now you can see the bishop is a bit crammed. The bishop cannot go here. The bishop has to go to e6, because if bishop goes to h5, then you simply go queen h4, and this bishop is literally trapped. The move g4 is coming and you cannot stop this bishop to get it. So if you try something like this, then obviously you can first go here attacking the defender of this bishop. So if this comes, the knight takes, bishop takes, and queen takes bishop, and you're winning. So knight d5 completely wins here. So of course most of the people won't play bishop h5, I'll say none, and bishop e6 will be the move that you will see in your game. And here you don't have to take this, because if you take this, then black has significant advantage right away, but you have to start with bishop g5. The point is, you're giving up this bishop and you're allowing it to double up, correct? You're allowing bishop takes c4, d takes c4, but you get the center, and your idea is knight d5. Now if, let's say, black tries to castle, then simply you can see knight d5 is coming, but moreover this is attacked, correct? So you just go queen h4, you're attacking this twice, and something like this is not even possible because of knight coming to d5, because this will be attacked, this is pinned, the bishop pins the knight on f6. So here, giving up this bishop and getting a double pawn is better for us, and you'll see our command in the center with knight d5 and knight e to c3. It is very, very good for white. Moving behind here, most of the players either, let's say, castle or either push this or something. Let's see what happens with castle. Castle, what I recommend is we can take on f6, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, and you trade this as well. Bishop takes. Now there's a chance for your opponent to take with the pawn or to take with the queen. If the queen takes, if the opponent does not want to double up, then you simply go knight d5. And now your idea of h5, h4, h5 is coming in the air, and f4 is also coming. So let's say bishop goes to g7, then you can start with f4 or start with this, but okay. Right now knight c7 is losing. So here the bishop will have to give it itself or just go behind. And you can see that black is not doing well from here itself. Going behind, if pawn takes, then here we can go with h4, h5, f4, or first castle and then go h4, then go f4. So white is doing pretty well here as well. So bishop g5 is one plan. Also, if you just want to have the plans in mind, because there can be many variations that your opponents can play, one plan is that you keep your bishop here, bishop g5, exchange everything here, short castle, go h4, go f4, go f5, and you are doing very, very good. And you'll see if knight h5 comes in the future itself, just come here with your queen, push this. Or you can also go h4, h5, give up this pawn, knight takes, and come to queen, queen h2. And then you have the idea of pushing this knight away, and these squares will be weak if black castle is short. So that is one thing in this variation. When queen comes to d7, black's queen comes to d7. But one idea that my opponent played in a game and I messed it up completely was knight a5. I did not see knight a5 coming, and I simply went bishop b3, and then I was bad. But here you do not have to play bishop b3, but instead play the move f3 directly. So you're giving up this bishop, attacking its bishop. So if knight takes this, you're not taking away its knight, of course. You're taking this bishop. Because because now the knight is attacked, and knight does not have many squares, and knight has to go back to b6. And you can now see that f rank is open, the f file is open. You can short castle, or the best move here is a4. The idea, of course, is to push this, and then there are some ideas because the knight will have to retreat behind. Then you push this as well. So this space for this knight is gone. This space is gone. And then you short castle. The rook is attacking here. And then you even start h4, h5 if you want to. Or queen h2, h4. If the knight sits on h5, then you just simply go g4 as well. So yeah, there are some plans in this position. If the knight takes the bishop. What happens if the bishop retreats? Bishop won't go to h5 because we saw the variation where queen h4 and g4 is coming. So bishop, let's say, comes to e6, because the best move, that is bishop d7, I don't think so many players will play, because of course you're retreating 2 behind. But bishop e6 is something that might happen in the game. But now simply you can go bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and now you can strike in with the move f4. You can strike in directly with the move f4, and now you can see this black's knight is misplaced, and it will take one move to come back. And before it comes, you can simply take this as well, because right now it's here. So of course, let's say knight c6, and you can also push this. One idea, h4 is one other idea, and another idea is castle. I like to go this because if pawn takes, it's a double pawn, and if knight takes, then pawn push. The knight is attacked again. The knight will have to go behind knight to c6, and now you can even short castle, put your bishop to g5, your queen to h4, and you're putting so much pressure on this knight, and even e5 can come in the future. So you can see with the queen coming out too early, you are cramping black's position if black does not play very well. And the scholar's mate is not so bad. So you'll say, then why does the minus 0.3 advantage come from in this position itself? So the point is, g6 is the one that gives the minus 0.3, of course. But the move that I'm very uncomfortable with is queen to e7. And I don't think many players would play this because it blocks a bishop. And now after simple moves like knight c3, this is coming. This is very, very annoying because the whole point of queen h5 is destroyed because you have to play the move queen d1. And now black can simply play c6 first to defend this and then start its development, and it becomes a normal game. And yes, black, I'll say it's equalish because black will have to move the queen to develop this bishop or fianchetto it, but then it's blocked by this pawn as well. So I'll tell this is not the scholar's mate because our queen retreats behind. But in the other cases, if queen e7 does not come or something like queen f6 comes, here you can show your game by first, I suggest knight c3. The idea is to come here, and now if bishop comes here, then there are many cheeky variations that I've seen already. One is f4, if I'm not wrong. Yes, f4 is a very good move because pawn cannot take it because this bishop is hanging right here on c5, and the queen, if the queen takes, then simple move like d4, it's attacking the bishop. The queen is also being attacked by the bishop on c1. So yeah, there are many tricky variations in this also. And after preparing so much, I don't think that the scholar's mate is so bad to play. And I tested out it in one to two. I tested out in a few games, and a game I won with a 2300 player as well. Oops, my camera. So I don't think it is a very bad opening. Tell me in the comment section that do you think so, and try out the scholar's mate once as well.